Good morning guys, welcome back to another week. It is week 17 I believe, which is absolutely mental. Anyway, I have just not long got in, dropped off all the orders at the post office and got in and switched everything on in here. My wax for my melt and obviously the melter for the candle wax is just pretty much on like all throughout the week. So I filled that up last night and it's all good and ready to go this week. Really the plan is to just continue getting stocked up on candles. As well as that though, we really have to get the ball rolling with our amazing new big candles, which we're hoping to launch, as I said before. And there is actually kind of a bit of pressure to get them ready now because, and I don't think I've mentioned this because it's just kind of been signed off on, but we applied a couple of weeks ago to have a stand at the Autumn Fair trade show in Birmingham, which is next month, like less than a month away. And that's all been accepted and signed off, paid for, everything, so
I declare bankruptcy!
So yeah, the pressure is definitely kind of on now for us to get them all tested and everything in time to launch before or actually at the trade show. Hello, it's much later now. I have finished making my candles for the day. So I have this batch here that I just made and also this batch in here as well, which is 45 candles, and this here is 45 candles as well, so that is 90 candles in total, which means that once these are all put away that'll be fireside all stocked up. And I still have these candles here which I made the other day, which are Sandara Beach, and don't judge me, but I also have this to do as well, which is Rhubarb Plum Noir. So I did actually start twining these ones and putting the labels on, but I think I got sidetracked, so I still need to finish doing all this. I might do that tomorrow whilst I'm testing candles again. I have also, as you can see, taken the wicks out of this candle here because after it only been lit for about an hour, it already reached a full melt pool and the flames were quite flickery as well, like really flickery. So I kind of just decided there and then that those wicks were not going to work. So it's back to the drawing board. I don't really have time to put new wicks in and start testing today because I like to give them on the first burn about 4 hours burn time, unless of course I can tell that they're not going to work, which is what happened with the wicks that I've already tried today. As I said, it just reached the full melt pool way too quickly, and then I just think if it's done that within like an hour, then surely as it gets kind of further and further and further down the glass, it's probably going to get way too hot for the jar, and from a safety point of view I just obviously want to avoid that. So what I'm probably going to do is begin testing again tomorrow morning, and yeah, we'll see how we go. I will try and document more of that tomorrow, but I realise that it's probably not very interesting to a lot of you guys, and I am going to be doing a sit down video explaining like the whole testing process that I go through with all of my candles for those of you who will find that interesting. Hi guys, it's Wednesday, my dudes. Just remember to pick up the camera and talk to you a bit more about testing because I said I was going to do more of that today. So, here we have Christmas tree again. What I was testing yesterday, I have wicked down this time and they are doing much better. The flames are not as flickery, they're not too high, and also it's seemingly reaching the diameter of the jar after, well, it's not even quite done it yet and it's been on for over 2 hours, so that's definitely a good sign. The hot throw is kind of hard to judge here because obviously it's a really big open space, so I'm not really judging the hot throw from this. It's really just how the wicks are kind of performing. And then what I'm going to do is the next time I burn it, I'm going to put it in a smaller space, like maybe my office, just to get a better idea of it. But it does seem like it's going to be really good because I've been sat here doing some emails and I can smell it here after a couple of hours, and that's obviously like at least 6 meters away from where it's burning, and it is obviously like the high ceilings out there and everything like that don't seem to be impacting that, so that's a good sign. In here I also have this single wick candle, also Christmas tree, and I'm not 100% convinced on this wick in particular because I don't know if you can really tell, but yeah, it is quite tall and it is flickering quite a lot, which isn't a good sign. But the melt pool is doing well. It's kind of maybe a little bit more advanced than what I would expect it to be, but it has kind of taken more than 2 hours to reach the full diameter, and it doesn't feel too hot or anything like that. But the hot throw that you're getting from this is amazing. I realise that this isn't really a very big space, but it is like really filling it. Like the second you come through this door, it's just like boof, Christmas tree. So yeah, I am testing both single wicks and double wicks because I don't know, I'm not 100% convinced on the double wick idea, or twin wick, whatever you want to call it. Obviously you will get a better hot throw because it's burning the wax quicker than a single wick, but then also it does mean that it's not going to last as long as a single wick. So it's kind of pros and cons, swings and roundabouts. Yeah, we'll see. I've also just gone through and trimmed the wicks on all of the candles I made yesterday and popped the lids on, so I now have 90 Fireside, 45 Sundial Beach and 130-ish Rhubarb Plum Noir, which all need finishing. I'm kind of having regrets about how many Sundial Beach I made though. I kind of think I should have made like 90 at least of those because there's really not much left. So I think what I'm going to do today, first of all, is make another batch of 45 Sundial Beach candles, and then I'm going to probably spend Friday, or a lot of Friday anyway, finishing them all up, as well as obviously testing the big candles as well. time for an update on my wicks. So it has now been 4 hours. Overall, I'm pretty happy with these 2 wicks here, and I'm going to continue testing these to see how they get on. But in most of the kind of categories that I judge wicks on, these are pretty good, and the hot throw around this whole area is really good, which is saying a lot given the fact that the ceilings are so high, obviously. I wouldn't really expect to be able to smell a whole lot, but it's really good. So I'm going to be testing this in probably the office next, just to see how good it is in like an enclosed space. Let's go see how the single wick is doing. I am not happy with this one. So I don't know if it's going to pick up quite how flickery it is. I've been watching it obviously like every hour. I've been coming in and checking on them and weighing them as well, just to see how much wax it's burning per hour. And yeah, this I think is just a little bit too big for this jar, so I'll probably try wicking down next time just to see how that works in this jar. It is a shame because it does smell so good in here, but yeah, that is just doing nothing for my anxiety. And yeah, I can pretty much tell you right now that that is not going to work, and by the time it gets down here it's going to be way too hot for the jar. So now obviously I'm not going to take you through each and every single different wick that I'm going to test, because as you can probably gather it can be quite a bit of a long and laborious process to go through. But I did just want to kind of like give you a little bit of an insight and sprinkle a little bit of realness. When it comes to wick testing, honestly it could be the first wick that you try, or the 10th or the 50th, you just don't know, and you just need to keep testing and stick at it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Hello guys, how are you doing? It's Sunday. We have just got back from a lovely day out in the sun, went to the beach at Leven, and also went through to Ely and got some lunch there, and it was so good. So yeah, I've had a lovely little day off, but I just wanted to jump on because I realised that obviously I didn't vlog anything the last couple of days. I've had a bit of a tummy bug, so I've not been feeling great, and I pretty much took all of Friday and yesterday off because I just felt absolutely pants. So sorry if this week's vlog is lacking in content, but yeah, we'll be back to normal next week. Although it's actually our anniversary tomorrow. It's our 2nd wedding anniversary, so we are Gordon. So we're actually going through to Prestonfield for a nice wee night away, and I don't know if we're going to vlog anything. We shall see if I'm feeling brave enough.
We're vlogging at Prestonfield.
Are we?
We can only afford to go once a year, so we're going to vlog it.
Yeah, we probably should, because it is a lovely place, isn't it?
So nice.
Yes. you sitting down with me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just came on to
Did you tell the guys that's where we got proposed to?
We got proposed to.
She got proposed to.
Yes, I got proposed to there. Yes. No, I actually didn't tell them that. I thought that might be a bit too
Spoiler alert.
cheesy, yeah. But yeah, we've only been back a couple times since, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we went back last year for our anniversary then for afternoon tea.
Yeah, it was really nice. But they've got peacocks and Highland cows and
Highland cows.
Highland.
Why are you talking so weird?
Highland cows.
Highland cows, yeah.
Highland coos. We'll try and get some of the peacocks on film.
Yeah. They're so noisy.
Yeah, it was really funny when I proposed to Georgina, she actually like yelped. I don't know, out of fear or excitement, one of the two. And all the peacocks actually started mimicking her. It was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It was like a calling, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah, like you were one of them. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it for this week's vlog. Thank you so much as always for watching, and be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!
Bye.